Hi and welcome to episode 56 of the This Is Reportage podcast. My name is Alan Law, I'm the founder of This Is Reportage and This Is Reportage Family, and I'm a photographer too. Delighted to have the fab Katrin Küllenberg on the podcast today, one of the best family and wedding photographers in Germany. Katrin has won 2 Story Awards from us here at This Is Reportage, as well as 6 Reportage Family Awards and a Family Story Award on our sister site, This Is Reportage Family. She's also a judge for us on TIR right back in Collection 2. Katrin shares all about the experience of judging for our wedding site, her top tips for better documentary family photography, her time in America, the story behind one of her specific Reportage Family Awards, how she's been dealing with COVID, why it's so important to have context in your images, being on the other side of the camera for a family shoot, and much, much more. Hey, Katrin, how are you doing?
Fine, very fine, thank you.
Good. Thank you for talking to me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I hope my English is enough. So, yeah.
Wow. We were just chatting just beforehand. You sound like a natural born English speaker. It's amazing.
Well, I'm not. I spent, after school, I spent 1 year in the States. So, yeah.
Oh, cool. What was that like? Where in America?
In California. And I stayed with the family, and I was very lucky because I didn't have to do au pair. I could go to school, go to university, and the family, they had 4 kids my age. So, and actually I met my best friend there. So we're still friends, and I just talk to her on the weekend, and it's great.
Oh, that's very cool. Cool. Nice. You know, I love America, but I've only ever been to Las Vegas. I need to see
Oh,
I know.
America, I guess.
I really need to see other parts. I need
Yeah.
to. Have you ever been to Vegas?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to see it, but oh God, yeah, I think you can't stay longer than 2 days or so, and then God, everything just turning in your head, and you probably have to go to the desert to reset. Then, yeah.
Oh yeah. I've gone for WPPI last like 5 years.
Oh yeah. So is this
I just love it over there.
Is this worth it going there?
Well, I do enjoy it. You know, it's like the opposite of Cornwall. You know, we were talking just before starting this. You came to Cornwall recently, and you know, Vegas is like the opposite of Cornwall. I think that's what I like about it. You know, really, in a way.
Yeah.
I love Cornwall, but it's nice to get a bit of something different. And Las Vegas is about as far away from Cornwall as you can get.
Oh, that's
I think.
right. Yeah, it's another package. Yeah.
So you're in Germany though, aren't you? Whereabouts in Germany are you?
We are in Solingen, and that's between Cologne and Düsseldorf.
Oh, okay, nice.
Maybe you know us because we are famous for knives. You know, made in Solingen. Maybe you have a good knife. So,
oh, right. No, I didn't know that actually, but that's good to know.
So, but usually I always say, I'm from Düsseldorf because it's much easier for people to place me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I've been to Cologne on a German exchange trip when I was like 13 or something.
Okay.
It's beautiful. I love Cologne.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's kind of, compared to Düsseldorf, it's kind of dirty, but
is it?
more down to earth, yeah. But yeah.
I've walked up the cathedral, up all those steps in Cologne.
Yeah. I did this on a school trip. I mean, do they still have those stairs where you can look down to the floor? I mean, it was really, really scary because all the way up, you could see how high you were going.
Oh yeah, freaky.
Yeah. So I only did once.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there are hundreds of steps. Isn't there about 500 steps or something?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I've only been to Germany, I guess 4 or 5 times, but I've loved it. I did an exchange in Wuppertal. Do you know Wuppertal?
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, that's right around the corner. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, is it the Schwebebahn?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, your German is perfect.
Yeah, right. I know about 10 phrases, I think. That's it. But no, I also did some work experience in Munich for 2 weeks, which was amazing. I love it over there. Love it.
Yeah. I mean, of course,
have you ever shot
different from here, yeah.
Is it very different? Is it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah. I mean,
in what way?
In what way? I mean, it's rich. Munich is really, really rich. And of course, it's more Mediterranean. I think it's the most Mediterranean city in Germany. So, I mean, I love Munich, but it's really expensive. I mean, we are really happy that our kids all study in Cologne and not have to move to Munich or so, because I think it's outrageous, the prices that they have to pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's like London prices in England then, is it? Is it similar, that kind of thing?
I think similar. I'm probably not as high as in London, but still for Germany, it's really high, yeah.
Right, okay. Do you shoot weddings? Have you shot weddings in Munich?
Actually, yeah, I shot one wedding, but because I have my family, I don't want to travel very far, so I rather have do weddings where I can go home at night. So
that is so true, isn't it? Yeah, that is so true. And what's this year been like for you? You know, we can't avoid the question. How have you coped? You know, business wise or mentally wise? How has it been for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, actually, I have to say that for me personally and my family, I mean, it has been kind of a gift because but only for me as a family, because we have older kids and two of them already were in university when COVID started, and now three of them are. And so the usual way of things would be that they move out and you don't see them all that much anymore. So, but now they all have online classes, and so there's no need for moving out, and we all stay at home and have our meals together. And for me, it's just like a precious gift of one more year, and I try to document it all the time. And so, yeah, actually, I really, really like this about COVID, but probably, I mean, this is the only thing you like, you know, so.
Yeah. I can understand that, though. It must be lovely having them all back together, especially when a couple have gone away to university.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise the house would be empty. I mean, we only have our youngest son, and he's 14, and I mean, he's not too keen on spending too much time with his parents. So, it's great. But
how about business wise?
Well, business wise, I was surprised that all but one of my weddings went through. I mean, it was really amazing. I didn't book any new weddings, and I mean, who wants to plan a wedding right now, you know? But all my weddings went through. There were small weddings and big weddings, and actually, I like the small weddings much better. Though, of course, they didn't bring in so much financially wise, but I felt much safer there. I mean, pretty much everyone was wearing masks. There were not so many people. Big weddings, it sometimes was scary, you know. I mean, of course, people not wearing masks, but for the service people and me, you know, and it's just hugging and dancing all the time. So apparently, we got lucky. No one got sick, but I was very happy when it's over. And for family photography, it has been much more difficult. I mean, I can't, and I won't do home stories right now, of course, you know.
Right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but during the first serious lockdown in spring, I was bored. And when I saw on Instagram that that photographers were offering those doorstep projects, I thought, that sounds great. And so I did that for free.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I offered that. I offered to take family pictures with people looking out of their windows or sitting on their doorsteps. And I asked them to donate money to our local food bank. So I did it for free.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but for me, actually, it was a good marketing. I mean, I got 2 weddings through this. And
wow, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. People referred me, and I had an article in our newspaper about this. And I got connected with a local midwife group, and people donated about £2,000. And
wow, God, that's amazing. That's great.
I was amazed. It was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. And like how to post groups, and because I mean, you think, okay, now I'm doing 5 group shots a day, and how to make it look different. And it's so amazing because you don't have to do a lot to make it look different. I mean, people are so individual, and it really, really shows in every image. So that really surprised me. And and the best thing was our youngest daughter. She accompanied me on some of the shoots and did her own portraits and all that. And and I saw her talent, and we shot 2 weddings together afterwards. So
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was
goes in the blood. It's in the blood. This photography skills. How old is your daughter?
She is 17.
Okay, cool. Oh, wow. That'd be cool to be like a mother-daughter photography duo like that. I think.
Yeah,
it's cool.
without its difficulties. Let me say that.
No, right? Yeah. I get it.
But I mean, I think we always fight before it starts. But but when we're working, everything's good. And she's great. I mean, I love her images, and she really has great potential. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Do you think she would like to maybe do it as a career like you, or does she got other things?
No. I don't know.
Okay.
I told her, I mean, doing this for a student job, while being in university and shooting weddings, I mean, could be a good way of, improving your income. But
Definitely.
I mean, she's really young, and all her plans just fell through this year. So she wanted to go abroad and do a lot of things, and she can't do this. So, I mean, she just has to find a way first.
Yeah, that's true. It's all good. It's all going to be better next year. All this is going to be better, and this is going to be a distant memory as well. So hope so.
I don't think so.
I know. But let's be positive. Let's be. Oh man, it's been mad. Yeah, I've only shot 2 weddings this whole year. Which has been, mad. You're really lucky having virtually all your weddings going ahead. Then that is cool.
Yeah, but I'm surprised. I mean, I talked to other photographers, and they hardly had anything to shoot. So, but I don't know. I mean, we were really, really lucky. Yeah. I mean, there were always those slots when they allowed it. I mean, people postponed their weddings during the year because there were times they couldn't do it because they didn't invite too many people. But somehow it worked.
What are the regulations right now in Germany?
We have, they're stricter now. I mean, we have like kind of a second lockdown, though it's not as serious as the first because the kids can go to school and the stores are open. But they can't do any sports anymore, and you can't meet too many people. You have to wear a mask, and so. But it's okay, I think.
Yeah, similar. I mean, similar to here.
I mean,
we're going into a second lockdown on Thursday, but no weddings allowed at all then for a month.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Matt, anyway, let's go on to some more positive thing. Katrin, at the time of this interview, which is the beginning of November 2020, in case people are listening, later on sometime, you're currently ranked number 1 in Germany on this Reportage Family, which is awesome, with 6 Reportage Family Awards and a Family Story Award won as well, which is we've only had 2 collected so far, so that's amazing. So, Katrin, just to put you in the deep end here, what do you think makes a good documentary family photographer? You're obviously great at it. Do you have any tips or advice for anyone listening? What makes a good documentary family photographer?
Well, I think
big question. Sorry,
yeah,
big question.
It's really a big question. I think you just with me, I love families because I love being in a family, and I think that shows to some degree. And I think you have to accept how people are, and if they, even if it's not your cup of tea, you should be kind of neutral and just observe. Because I had families I didn't really like too much, and the stories turned out great, and I was surprised afterwards. But I think you should show a lot of sympathy. And to me, what is important to make my images different from the ones they will take is that I try to put myself in the images. I mean, that I try to find an angle they might not see, or work with light, something they don't see in the moment, but find very interesting when they see the images because they haven't seen themselves in this way. I'm not so much a detail photographer. I mean, I know a lot of photographers who go in for details, a lot of hands or smiles or just hair. So yeah, that's not me. I really, for me, sometimes it's more important to see everything. And I don't like bouquet. So because I always want to have a lot of context. So when they go back after some years, it's not just the prettiness of the image, but I want them to see where they lived and who was in the background. And it's not just to have someone blurry in the background and you can't tell is it grandma or is it mom or I want them to see it and see, oh my God, mom, I mean, what were you wearing? And what were the phones you used at that time and everything. So I think to be a memory, an eternal memory, you should really think about the context of everything. I mean, of course, you should shoot portraits and you shoot details, but you should always have in mind that the overall of it, to have a story in the end, and to show them something they weren't aware of. That is beautiful. I mean, I try to make my pictures beautiful, even if kids throw tantrums. So I try to find the best light for this.
That's funny. Oh, that's so great to hear that. I think that's really interesting. And it's really interesting to hear about not having, to have context. So not having all those kind of blurry out of focus like areas or people, because a lot of photographers always shooting, really kind of, wide open. And it's really interesting to hear that you're not always doing that.
Yeah, I know. But for me, sometimes when I look at those images, I'm looking to see the people behind and I can't tell. So sometimes when I see their images, they look beautiful. I mean, especially for weddings. So you have the couple and they're smiling. But I think this image is more, it's of a bigger worth to them now. The way it is, if a lot of bouquet, but when they look back a few years later, it's not so important anymore that they were beautiful or just the two of them. But maybe it's more important to them to see the mother in the front row and crying or so.
Totally agree, and that's so interesting. Maybe I think maybe a lot of people not thought about it like that. I don't think I ever really given that thought like that, and that's so true. Yeah, it really is.
It also makes for cheaper lenses.
That is a plus. Yeah, that's a plus. You mentioned there about photographing your children. Are they kind of like really sick of you photographing them now, or they?
Well, actually. I mean, what I do now is I make videos. Do you know this 1 second every day app?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, I found out about 2 years ago, and that's so long. That's how long I'm using it. And actually, they're more annoyed when I run around and getting my camera, my mobile phone out and shooting them. I'm like, oh my God, Mom, the fun moment is gone. And but they love it. I mean, last Christmas, I put together the 1 second thing, and we watched it, and it was such fun. And I'm looking forward to this year. But
that's cool.
Yeah, but image-wise, no. I mean, they don't care anymore. They are not camera aware. I mean, I don't know. I shot that out of them. But
Which came first for you, like the family photography or wedding photography, or did they happen at the same time? What was your journey into this, into being a photographer at all?
Well, actually, I wasn't. It was my husband who got me into it. I mean, I always had a camera and I was always shooting images. But when I finished my studies, I studied North American studies and art history. So I just worked for a short period and then got married and I got pregnant. And so we have 4 kids, and I decided, I mean, we were in the happy situation that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mother. So I just stayed with my kids, and I loved the time I got to spend with them. And well, being a stay-at-home mom, you really get a bad reputation. So I don't know, some people think you're lazy or whatever. But
wrong.
Yeah, but the kids tell me, I mean, they really appreciated me being home and spending time with them. And
I bet. That's the best. Well, it's so precious. It's so precious.
And I know it was worth it because they grow up so quickly. I mean, I think you have 2 young children.
That's right. Yeah, 5 and 8. Yeah.
Yeah,
5 and 8.
I can tell you. I mean, that's what they always say. They grow up so quickly, and they do. I mean, I remember telling my oldest when she graduated 3 years ago, and I said to her, "Oh my God, I just remember your first day of school. It's like yesterday." And she's like, "Mom, I mean, that's ages, and it's not." And But of course, then the time comes, they don't need you anymore. And when our fourth child, when our son got into school, when he started school, I felt pretty scared because I didn't know what to do with myself. And so I didn't want to get into a regular job because I also have a chronic disease. I have morbus Crohn. And sometimes it flares up. And so I did not, I was looking for something I could do on my own terms. And at that time, my husband, thankfully, got really interested into photography. I mean, I have always taken pictures, and I also developed my own images when I was in university. But to me, it was just something I did. And but if he gets interested into something, he really does it all the way. And so, and he found out about fearless photographers, and he showed me those images, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, it was like an epiphany that something as tacky as a wedding could be so amazing and so great.
Right, yeah,
so And I was just sitting there, and I was just thinking, I will never be able to do this, but it's great that there are people out there who can. And then, and then a few days later, he came back from work, and he had talking to a colleague, and he had gotten married, and he had an expensive photographer. And my husband showed me the images, and was like, oh my God. I mean, they had this couple shooting, and they were standing in a field with a car in front of the car, and she had her arms around his neck and kicking up a heel. And on the license plate, I think he photoshopped Nick loves Susie or whatever. And
wow, right.
And that was the moment I thought, yeah, I could do so much better.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and so we bought our gear, and then I took workshops and everything, and I'm pretty grateful that he really encouraged me, because I wasn't a very confident person. I think photography, being good at photography, has made me so much more confident. So I'm really, really happy that he found the right perfect path for me, because it's really exactly what fits me. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's what I did before. The first thing was I did wedding. I mean, I always did family on the side because I shot my own family. But but offering it out to other people, just came a few years after I shot weddings. And this whole family documentary thing became more popular. And now I really wanted to, if I could, I would switch all the way to family photography.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Do you just prefer doing that to weddings, or less stressful, or what? Why would you want to do?
It's less stressful, so much less stressful. I mean, I'm so nervous before every wedding. And
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you're afraid to miss the moments, or something breaks down. I mean, when was it? Oh yeah, this year's wedding. We started like before the couple arrived, and I tested my camera, and it didn't work. And it just, something blocked. And fortunately, I'm working with two cameras. And my daughter was with me, and she has two cameras as well. So we at least have 3 cameras, but I wasn't used to the one she gave me. And so I was like, oh my God. But everything worked out fine. They're so perfect. But still, and with families, it's just like, I don't care. I mean, of course I care, but I just go there and think, okay, I'm up to whatever I see, and if I don't get a moment, I don't care. I mean, it's bad for me, but they wouldn't know. And
that's true.
Yeah, I love it. I love how families work, and to see. The people who ask you to shoot them, most of them, I think 99.9% are happy families, because they are willing to pay you for shooting them.
That's true, isn't it? I never thought of that. Yeah, you're not going to get really unhappy on the brink of breaking up families wanting you to photograph them. That's true.
No. And and it's also, I love, for my wedding photography, I love to shoot family weddings. I mean, I do this more and more, because a lot of couples, they have the kids first, and then they get married. And I find those are so much more relaxed affairs. I mean, a bride is so different from a mom and a mom bride. A mom bride is like, okay, so this didn't work out. So who cares? So next, and the bride is like, oh my God, I prepared for this day and weeks and months, and this has to be perfect. And
that's so true. Yeah, again, something that I'd not thought about, but that is so true. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you shoot more family weddings or usually like fresh couples?
Do you know what I think? Yeah, I'm probably like you. I think a lot of my clients, already have kids, or just about to, just start out as well. I don't get really young couples, but yeah, a lot of them already have kids. And as you say, they are more relaxed generally, aren't they? They really are.
Yeah, and I think I think it's also for your memories. It's so much nicer if you have your kids first and then you get married, because this is something you can all remember together, So it's not like this is mom and dad's event, but when you look back at the images and you have the kids and you say, "Oh my God, I was there. I was asleep there."
That's so true.
Yeah, that's cute. And I just love kids at weddings. I mean, yeah. So I mean, they always entertain you, and if there's nothing else to shoot, you shoot the kids, and yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. No, it's cool. Really cool. And I love just going back. I loved your story of getting into weddings as well, because it's often the opposite way around, in that the one partner is, wants to become a photographer and they're trying to persuade their other partner, that this is something that I want to do. And they're always a bit nervous, maybe the other one, about them leaving a job or something. But it's great how supportive your husband was.
Yeah, I'm really lucky. I know that. Yeah.
And you mentioned workshops. I think I read on your website was one of the workshops you went on. Did you go on a floristi workshop? I did too.
Yeah, it's great. And I went to the one from Nordica.
Cool.
Yeah, and they teamed up with this fair. And that was really, really interesting, because they are so not alike. And
I've never met the Nordica people, actually.
The Nordica people, do you know, I mean, do you have their photography? Do you have in mind what they do? Or?
Oh, yes, I know.
Yeah, they have those epic landscapes with the couple in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what they're famous for. And they're really, really good at all marketing and business. And so it's a great workshop. But they, on the second day or whatever, first or second day, they in the end they did a photo shoot, and you split up into groups, and then you changed. And first you went out with them, and then the fair, and it was so interesting to see how they did the photo shoot. They were like to the couple, they were like, hold hands, look at each other, don't look at each other. And I mean, it works for their photography, but then you go back to fair, I mean, yourself, and he's like this, what did he say? He's this little Mexican monkey. And so friendly and into it. And and that was amazing. And so I think it's so important to take workshops. I mean, I know a lot of photographers who say, no, I don't need to take workshops. I have my own style. I don't want to corrupt it. And that's just bollocks. I mean, so much from every workshop you're going to.
Totally
you don't have to copy their style, but you can say, yeah, that might work for me. Or no, I haven't thought about this. Or maybe, yeah, that's a great idea. So, yeah, I love going to workshops. I don't do so much anymore, but in the beginning I did. And I met so many great photographers. And
that's another big plus side from going to workshops, isn't it? Meeting people.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I went to loads when a while ago as well, and I really enjoyed it. Even ones that, you get things from the photographers that maybe you don't agree with some things that they do, but you still take things from that, realizing you want to do things your own way at times, but then you'll see things that they do and then you put your own spin on it, and how it, it's all really good.
Yeah. I mean, I took one with Mauricio Arias.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
And he is like, I mean, he did a photo shoot, and I mean, like when I saw his images the first time, I thought, oh yeah, of course. I mean, he has all those high-class weddings in the best venues, and of course he's taking it's easy for him to shoot this, and it was so amazing. We were like in such a bland conference room, and it's so ugly. And then the couple came in, and he transformed the whole room with his camera. And he, like, of course, it's someone had to hold the flash, another one had to hold the light, and he was dipping down for the different, the best angle. And then he showed us the images right afterwards, and it was like, my God, I was there. This was this room. And so, yeah, but
That's
this is a
cool.
special gift. And I don't think that, I mean, you see it, but when I saw it, I knew that I wasn't able to do this. I mean, some things, you just have the talent for it, you know. I mean, he shows you how to do it, and you know, okay, I have to use the flash and some ideas. I picked up a lot of ideas, and I mean, I can only recommend taking a workshop with him because he's so serious about it. It was supposed to be an 8-hour workshop, and I think he did it 15 hours. I mean, I left.
Wow.
And I left after he critiqued my work, because then he said, in the end, I would critique everyone's work. And I don't know. And after 12 hours, I left because I got my work critiqued. And then I went on Facebook when I was home, and someone shot from outside the conference room, and there was still light. They're still at it. And
wow.
It was really amazing. Yeah, he really puts his heart in this. Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. Very cool. Cool. Oh, cool. Okay, Katrin, let's change tack slightly. Let's change tack. Let's say, a random question. If you had a time machine, what time, past or future, would you travel to?
Oh, I think those are the questions I always find difficult, because I love the time I'm in. I mean, but I think for me, the best time is with my family. I think that's the best time I have in my life. But I was, like, every time when they were little, I was afraid. So, that's probably the best time I will ever have with them. And then they grow older, and I think, no, now's the best time I have with them. Now we can really can communicate and talk. So I don't really. Cool. I think I don't want to go back or forwards. I think I'm just enjoying the time I'm having. And
well, that is great. That's great. That's that's a perfect answer, though. That just shows you how happy you are. I mean, that's great.
I'm really happy, and I'm really lucky, and I tell myself every day.
Oh, that's awesome, Katrin. Honestly, that's awesome. That is awesome. Have you? Another question. Have you been? Do you watch much Netflix or other streaming TV? Have you got any recommendations at all?
No, I'm not the Netflix type. My kids tell me, I sent you this show. Have you watched it? And I'm like, oh no, I haven't so far. And no, I'm not really big into. No,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, but one of my favorite series recently, there was a German show which is Dark. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, I haven't even heard of it, because I to entertain myself at night, it has to be something nice and funny or whatever, but nothing that really lets me not sleep at night. So.
Oh really? Oh, okay. That's funny. One of your specific Reportage Family Awards, by the way, that I love is where it's a shot where I think it's like 3 members of the family look to be engrossed in their electronic devices. I think dad's on the laptop, kids are on iPads or iPhones. That's my family. And there's someone. Oh, is it your family? Is it? Oh, and someone's drying off, like in the back, in the reflection. It looks like. Oh, that's your family. That's so cool. Yeah. But I love it. I love the composition. I love how you've got them all in that one shot, but they're all kind of in their own different worlds at that time on their devices. Can you tell us about that shot then?
We were on holiday. It's a recent image. So we went on holiday, and just 5 of us, because our oldest daughter, she couldn't go. And it's just pretty much everyday moment. And when they're sitting outside, I mean, if you have older kids, I mean, they really on their phone and everything. And my husband had to do some office work. So that was the image I was confronted with. So I thought, why not shoot it? And our youngest son, he had just come back from the pool. So it's
awesome. It's awesome, but it's real life, isn't it? It's real life, but also the way you compose to get them all in that shot and get the reflection of your son. Did you say as well in the background? Is it?
Yeah, I saw this composition before, and I thought, why not use it one of those days? And and then the next day I brought out my camera and shot it.
It's cool. You saw the composition earlier, the day earlier as well. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, just you see things and think, oh God, I still have to get a picture of this, because every day you're pretty much the same. And it's also I brought a flash with me because I wanted to practice flash photography during the holidays. So there's a flash on my husband, and it's like, just keep working. I'm just going to experiment a little bit, and he's like, oh yeah. And,
that's cool. And they're totally ignoring you, which is great.
Yeah, you don't care. Yeah. Sometimes I get annoyed. I'm pretty much the annoyance shows in the image that they ignore me. Yeah.
Oh, it's cool. It's a great image. And yeah, if anyone's listening now whilst walking the dog or doing the dishes, head to thisreportage.com or thisreportagefamily.com, and I'll include that image that Katrin just spoke about there. And you were a judge for us on our wedding site right back in collection 2. It's almost 3 years ago now. Yeah. Thanks so much again for that. Do you remember at all judging for us? It was a long time ago,
there weren't so many images as I think there are now. But
exactly. It would have been different. Yeah. Did you enjoy it though? I mean, do you enjoy judging in general? Do you ever learn from it yourself? Or?
Yeah, I love judging. I mean, I've been a judge to a lot of competitions, and I am always amazed because in the end you only see those great images, and how much very ordinary images and mediocre images are still there. I mean, people, that's what's surprising me. Not so much with This Is Reportage, because I think it aims for a different angle, but with other awards, I was like really surprised how many people still use color key or I don't know, just having a very bland style or overdo it, or so. Yeah, and so I think competitions and awards like yours, they're very important because they also educate people. And and I loved judging This Is Reportage because it's the only one that's going for the story, and the other one that just did one epic shot, but this is the story, and I loved watching that. I'm judging that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks again for judging. It's awesome.
It was fun. I love it. I love doing judging and critiquing. And
that's cool. And you've won 2 story awards yourself, which is awesome. I mean, I love the stories as well, especially. Do you have any thoughts, or tips on people submitting to the stories at all, from a judge's perspective?
I think you should compose your story, and then you should leave it for a week and then go back to it. Because I think if you send it in right away and then you enter it, I think you need to distance yourself again from it and watch it maybe with someone else's point of view. And sometimes that's for myself. It's happening with myself. Like some stories I've maybe entered and I watch again. I'm like, no, this doesn't really add up, and maybe this image doesn't tell so much about the whole story. So I think it's really important to really step back and see how every image contributes to a story, and some just don't. It's just to fill up your 20 images, and sometimes maybe 15 are enough if you don't have 20 great ones, But
that's so true.
Yeah, but one bad image can ruin the whole story.
That's true as well, isn't it? That's why it's so difficult to win one. It's so interesting. It's really interesting. And you did the camera. I think was it recently? I don't know, but semi-recent. Was it with Philip Swiggers? Did a family shoot for you?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
3 years ago, but
not that recent.
But it was a gift from my husband. I think 3 years old or so, and I thought, I'm never in the picture, of course. So I wanted to have my own story, and
what was that experience like? Was it?
Was
great.
Was
it cool?
It was really. I learned a lot, and also it showed me to how to have more empathy and patience with the people I shoot now, and So
and he won a family story. So you're actually in a family story award as well as winning yourself. You're in one as well.
Exactly. And but I learned a lot, of course, but The thing that has impressed me most was his. What I love most is the group shot of us, the family picture. I mean, it's not in the story, of course it's not, but it's, for me, it's the most important shot of the whole session, because I'm never in the images. I take off my family, and he did it. I mean, I know that a lot of documentary photographers, they don't want to do groups of the family the family image picture, because they say it's not documentary, because you never really, I mean, it's a rare moment that you have everyone in the same frame, and you really have to stage that one. But to me, it's very important. I mean, I figured how important it was after Philip shot our family. And so I offer it to all my families. I say, okay, we are doing a reportage and are doing all documentary, but we will find a moment where we get you all together and we will have that family picture. And the way he did it was, of course, he staged it, and he said, okay, you all sit on the sidewalk, and he put us in pairs of two. But then, to get us more activated or whatever, and he asked our oldest son, and what he didn't know, but we all did, was that he hates that.
Right, okay.
So she was like, oh yes, I will hug him. And we were all like, oh my God, how is he going to react? And it all shows in this image, all those different reactions, and it's so beautiful. And I look at it every day, and I'm so grateful that he took that one. And and this is what I want to give my families too. And it's easy, they all appreciate having it in the end. And it's just like, you ask them to sit somewhere and have everyone together, and especially if they have little kids. I mean, little kids, they're fed up with having a group shot after 30 seconds. And then they just start doing what they want to do, and they get into a fight or crawl over mom or whatever. And you just keep shooting, and you will have an individual family shot. This is not staged like in a studio or whatever. And they love it. I mean,
that's very cool. I bet they, as you say, I bet they really appreciate that. Really, and as you do, it's like, I
mean, we have it on a wall, and I look at it every day, and I love it. It's just the best thing he did for us. I mean, everything else, the whole story, of course, too, but this is for me because we're all in it, and it's such a special moment because I remember what it was about. Yeah.
That's proper cool. Really, really cool. And I'm trying to think.
He's a really great photographer and a very nice guy. I mean,
he's lovely, isn't he? Yeah, he's lovely. But I'm trying to think on my own family. I think we only have about a few selfies of the whole family where I'm in it. As well, just an iPhone selfies. It'd be lovely to get. I need to have a day in the life shot done of me and my family. I think that would be very cool.
You should do it, and it's such a great experience because. I hate to be in front of the camera. I mean, yes, and you know how it is for your families as well, and how to calm them down. And as I said, I hate to have my picture taken. And like in our vacation right now, I asked because I wanted to have a new picture of me for my website and everything. We tried. My daughter was taking it, and she's like, "Oh, Mom!" And it was so much wind outside, and she was like, "Oh, your hair." And then I just cracked up, and she shot through it, and that's that's perfect. And
I love that shot as well. You look so happy. It's cool.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun because she just kept advising me like, "Oh, Mom, you look awful. Just keep your hair." and check and everything, and then and then she kept shooting, so that shows her talent.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you trained her well. Go to with day in the life sessions. Obviously that's something that you do as well. How did you book your first one? I think a lot of family photographers would love to do them, but maybe don't have any in their portfolio to show. So it's almost catch 2022. I just wondering how did you get your first kind of day in the life session?
Oh, I did them for free.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a good way of doing it.
I know people who won't do this because they say, well, it ruins their price structure or whatever, and I don't think so. I mean, it's much better to do them for free, but then asking really, really a small amount of money, because then the moment you take money from them, you're you are in their service. And they expect something from you. And if you're working for free, it's just you can do whatever you want. And I think the images come out much better. And also, it's also something for the future, because the families I shot for free, they booked me years later when the kids got older, because they remembered the images and they wanted to do it again. Like this one family, they had 4 kids, and the mom was just, she's just having all her hands full, and he wasn't there. The husband was at work the whole day, and we did the shot, and then he asked me, like 2 years later, they had the 5th child, and he came back and he said, I want to give this as a Christmas present to my wife. And I'm like, okay, so you want to do it on a weekend, so you are home there? And he's like, no, we are going to do it like we did before during the week, because she's the star of the family, and I want the kids to see all the work she did for them. And I thought it was great. To have a husband to really appreciate that what you are doing at home, and to preserve that for your kids as a memory, like how hard mom worked and how much she loved you.
Oh, that is great, isn't it?
And he paid me.
And that's good as well. Oh, it totally makes sense to do that, though. It's like in the equivalent, I guess, in wedding photography, where some people do destination weddings for free or something. You get it in your portfolio. And as you say, you then, because no money's involved, there's not you can kind of do what you want then as well. Mm-hmm. And there's less pressure, isn't there, as well?
So even if something doesn't work out, yeah,
I'm doing this for free. Does it matter?
Yeah, doing this for free. Don't expect too much, And, you always over-deliver. People who are asking you, who you ask to shoot their wedding, can I do it for free? And they say yes, they can't expect very much. If they are not willing to say, oh, we don't know you so well, we'd rather hire a professional photographer, So I think you will always over-deliver to them.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And Katrin, you have separate websites for your wedding and family work. And it's just often something that is asked, and, people say, should I have separate websites, or should I just have separate sections on my website? So I was just wondering, why you made the decision for separate websites.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the right decision, So
I don't think there is a right or wrong, though. It's just it's everyone's different, isn't it?
It's probably because I want to concentrate on every website. I want to concentrate on what it is about, and I don't want to change, like people seeing weddings and then they're seeing families again. Maybe I should do this because it's what I'm about. But I think there are 2 different target audiences. So this is why I'm doing it. I don't know if it's. I know that a lot of photographers have it all on one website, and probably it's much easier, and it's also cheaper.
That's true. It would be cheaper. But I just think there's definitely no right or wrong, and there's definitely no right or wrong. It's just interesting to hear people's opinions on it. That's all.
Yeah, and it's less work to have one website, because
that's true.
Yeah, 2 websites, and took a long time. Yeah.
Both your sites look great, though, and they complement each other, really well, I think. So
thank you.
Katrin, what would be your top tips? Getting more top tips from you for people just starting out, and it would be an odd year to start out, but just in general, if you ignore COVID, what would be your kind of top tips for people starting out in either weddings or family or both? In general.
My top tips would be actually work for free, because. It gives you so much more liberties and ideas. Do a lot of workshops, because that just improves your work so much. You really have to spend money in the beginning to get it back afterwards, but you will be paid back. Yeah. And I think you should enter awards. You really do. I know a lot of people who are afraid because the competition is so hard, but I think you learn so much, and it boosts your confidence. If you win an award, it's not that you will gain more clients, but I know that it's just in the back of your mind that you have won against so many other great entries, and it really boosts your confidence, and this will show in the way you're working. I know this for myself, because I'm kind of a shy person. And in the beginning,
you don't sound shy. You don't sound shy.
But I am. I really, really am. And in the beginning, my first weddings, I don't know, I kept in the back, and if people like the uncle or so said, oh yeah, let me take my picture, you just stand there, blah blah blah, and I'm like in the back and trying to get my little position and not be in anybody's way. Yeah, but after shooting for some time and winning awards, you are like, yeah, I'm great. I mean, it comes out of it. And now I'm in front of it, and I don't care if I block anybody. I mean, it's me, they're hired, and I know that I'm going to get the best shot out of this, better than anyone else. So
that's cool.
Yeah, and so, it boosts your confidence. And don't be shy to go close. I know that a lot of people who are starting photography, they are afraid of getting close to their couples and so, because it's a question of intimacy, and you don't want to, be a nuisance to them. But the closer you get, the better the image. So
I so agree with that. Yeah,
you really have to push yourself, and maybe every wedding you take, you tell yourself, okay, I will get closer. I don't know, I get 2 meters closer now, or whatever. But and I think
great advice.
Yeah.
That's great advice. All of that, Katrin. Yeah. And I'm totally with you as well. Shooting close. So I shoot about 80% at 24, 25 mil. I love getting just really, really close.
It transports a different feeling.
It does, doesn't it? And when you look at the images, you feel like you were there more. You feel that intimacy of it. And also when you're physically close to what's going on around you, you can anticipate moments more, because you're like feeling the mood of it more, aren't you? You're really in the moment.
Yeah, and I think if you establish this kind of intimacy right from the beginning of the day, it's no problem anymore. I mean,
that's true.
I don't know which photographer. I don't know I think it was Fair, actually. He said that when he comes in, I think the first images he's taking, the first few photos of the bride, he's getting really, really, really close, and she's like, oh my God. And then he's stepping back, and he's never going that close again. But then she's so relaxed, because he's not, like, everything else feels perfect.
That's so true.
Her face, and afterwards she's so relaxed, and it doesn't matter anymore.
That's cool. That's cool.
I think I did. So that's what workshops are for.
That's cool. That sounds like it's something I would do. That's very cool. That's cool. I just sorry, I lost my train of thought then. But because I just remember his workshop, and I've never met anyone who swears so much either as a little size.
But it's so charming. I mean,
yeah, totally. He's lovely, isn't he? He's lovely. Katrin, I know this is probably a super hard question, but can you think of a certain photo that you took that's had some kind of lasting impact? You know, perhaps that impact has been on your career, or your confidence, or your direction, or just an image that's just particularly memorable to you. It could be wedding, family, or personal image, any kind of photo that's had an impact.
I think winning your first Fearless is really important to you, and I remember that I think I won 2 or what. I mean, there's such. I know that from this wedding, and it was really one of my first weddings. And I still love those shots, and I think they present what I'm doing. And the first one is from the bride and the groom, and they are with the kids, and the groom, and they have those little pipes who make, when you blow on them, they make a lot of noise.
Okay.
Do you know those? And
I think so. Yeah.
And he just kept firing on, like, go for it. And she's covering her ears. And when I took this picture and I won an award, I was like, yes, this is what I want to do. I want to do family images, and I don't want them to be, this doesn't have to be beautiful couple. I mean, they look nice, but they're not just like coming right from a Vogue cover or whatever. But there's such a personal image. And the other one that also won an award from that wedding was, she was getting her dress on, and they had a very old dog. And the dog was like, and you can see the face of the dog, what she's getting in her dress. And he's like, oh yeah, this is his expression. Like, he doesn't really care. And the bride told me afterwards that the dog died pretty soon after the wedding. And she just cherished that image, because it meant that he was there with them. I mean, and I think those are for weddings, those are my two most memorable.
That's cool. Wow, that's cool. I remember winning my Fearless as well, and just being, that was a big thing for me as well. I mean, as you say, go back to confidence, it does give you that kind of a big boost, doesn't it? That you're doing something kind of right now as well. It is a big deal. Okay, Katrin, I've really enjoyed this. The time's gone so quick. Honestly, looking down, it's gone so quick. So I think I've got time to do a couple more questions. Looking back at life or business or both, are there things you would have done differently at all?
No, I don't think so. I think it's pretty good that I didn't know how much work it was to become a wedding photographer, professional photographer, because I was very, very blue-eyed, and when I entered the business, like, there's so much you have to do besides being a great photographer, because you have to you have to do your own website, you have to do marketing and everything. And I think if I had known all of that before, I would be too scared. So it's just like I learned step by step by step, and I don't think I would have changed anything that I said. Like, my life would be so much better now if I had done this and this. Of course, I mean, some decisions you do, they are not perfect. Like some couples, I mean, I'm sure you have the same problem. Like, some couples you took on and they turned out to be the worst and gave you nightmares afterwards.
Yeah, that happens.
So I think that's what I learned too, because with those couples, I had trouble in afterwards. I had a bad gut feeling, though everything was perfect. You know, you talk to them and they were so nice and everything, but still in my gut, I felt, something's not right here. And so I learned after three really bad couples, I learned to trust this now. And I'm ready to say to a couple, even if they feel we click, to say no, to spare myself the,
I get that,
the disappointment and everything. So it's just not worth it if they don't.
No, I totally agree. I just think in life in general, saying no can be so important. I understand how also saying yes at times, obviously, is important as well. But knowing when to say, knowing when to say no can be just such a good life skill, I think, as well.
And I think you learn this. I mean, I think this is you have to make mistakes to learn from them, you know. So and saying no to couples, or knowing that you should trust yourself, and not only just your brain that says, okay, this fits and I need the money and everything. It also helps you in real life to something. If you're in this situation, you think, well, that's not so good, I don't feel really good about it, that you try to leave that moment or situation or person you're with.
I so agree. Great. I love it. Great advice. I love how the advice can be so universal to me, photography or just life as well. I love that. Love it. Okay, Katrin, final question. Do you eat the canapes?
Oh, usually I don't. I'm so... I know my assistants. I'm shooting weddings always with an assistant, and I always tell them, "Oh yeah, go for the food." But I hardly ever do. I mean, sometimes my husband helps out shooting, and he's getting me food, but I'm so nervous, and it's also because of my because I have this chronic disease, and I don't want to eat anything because I know that's best for me and that will make me get through this day. And I don't feel like eating. And also every time I eat, I see something and I just get up and run and want to shoot it. So actually I tell my couples, who sometimes are very, very nice and want to do me a favor and seat me with their guests. And I tell them, oh, don't do this, because I feel bad for your guests, because I always I run away. I mean, I'm not the one who will do the talking, because I'm thinking in my brain, I'm thinking the whole time, and I'm not good for communication at a table. So I ask them to sit me in the same room, because I also had that I sat somewhere else in another room, and that's really awful because you have to get up all the time because you think they don't tell you, oh, the dad is going to give a speech now, because they
that's so true.
So I hate that. But otherwise, I just want to be a fly on the wall and in the room and just have my water, and that's it. But they have really great food at some weddings, I have to admit. Yeah. Maybe I should take a doggy back home with me.
or just have a McDonald's on the way home from a wedding.
Of course, yeah. Did you eat that? Do you eat them? Or, I mean, are you relaxed during the dinner so that you can sit down and enjoy the meal? Or
well, I a lot of the time I don't get fed. I quite like just to take a little packed lunch myself, because sometimes the caterers will just, even if the couple have paid for a meal for you as the photographer, sometimes the caterers will just totally ignore you, and so I just like to nip to my car and just grab a sandwich or something. Just because when you're going to get a bit of food then, I think.
Yeah, I know, but how rude. I mean, not to give you the food.
Oh, it happens so often in England, it seems to. Oh, I just prefer not. And I don't like the whole being like Oliver and going with my cap in hand saying, please, sir, can I have some food?
Yeah.
I prefer to be independent and just grab a sandwich. It's fine. And then get a McDonald's at 2:00 in the morning on the drive home.
Perfect meal.
What's that? It is. Oh, man. I love. Sorry.
Are you getting a happy meal then?
Oh no, I should get a happy meal, shouldn't I? It makes you happy. It's kind of a happy meal. Katrin, thank you so much for talking to me.
Oh, it was a pleasure, really.
It's been so, because you've been, I've known obviously of you, and we've messaged over years now since the beginning of TIR, but we've never spoken. So it's just lovely hearing your voice.
Yeah, thank you. And I hope it comes. Yeah, I hope everybody understands. I mean, it's not my native language, so yeah.
What you say? If I just heard your voice, I would think you were just a native English speaker. Honestly, 100% amazing, absolutely amazing. Such huge respect for you, and just even aside from the language thing, you were just so open and gave so much information there, and just so interesting. So thanks for your time. It was awesome.
Yeah, I love talking about it. I mean, once you start me, I can't stop myself. Yeah.
Oh no, that's good. That's what I want. That's good. And if anyone's listening now, do head to thisreportage.com or thisreportagefamily.com and include a link through to Katrin's site, as well as that Reportage Family Award that she spoke about as well. And hopefully I'll get to meet you in the flesh one day, Katrin. That'd be lovely.
Yeah, next time you go to Cornwall, definitely.
Yes, let me know.
I will come and do a family photo of your family.
Yeah, we'll do it. That'd be great. I'd love that. Definitely up for that. Definitely. Awesome, Katrin. You stay safe, and be in touch.
Too. Okay, bye.
You've been listening to the 56th episode of the This Is Reportage podcast. Katrin was a real pleasure to chat to. She shared so much there. I hope you enjoyed listening. Head to thisisreportage.com or thisisreportagefamily.com to see the specific Reportage Family Award that she spoke about on the episode, as well as links to her website and TIR and TIRF profiles. We also have lots more episodes of the podcast available, with photographers such as The Framers, Pedro Villela, Alison Bounce, Tyler Workin, Frank Boutonnet, Liam Shaw of York Place Studios, Philip Swiggers, Sana de Block, and many more too. If you're not yet a member of This Reportage or This Reportage family, check out all the benefits of joining us, including an unlimited number of images on your profile, 60 individual award and 18 story award entries per year, invites to our physical meetups and parties, exclusive discounts, hours of educational videos featuring tips and advice from some of the world's best photographers, and much more too. At the time of this episode's release, which is the 3rd of December 2020, we're currently collating all the results from our final collections of 2020. So excited to see who will make our wedding and family top photographers of the year list. Results will be revealed very soon. After that, it'll be a whole new year of awards. Submissions will be open for our very first collections of 2021, and the deadline is the same for our wedding site, This Is Reportage, and our family site, This Is Reportage Family. Submit by 23:59 GMT on 24th of January 2021. No poses, nothing staged. This is Reportage. And this is bye for now.